Hello everyone, welcome to another session from Autodesk Revit tutorial. Literally this session is the first session of our learning. In this session we are going to explain what is the dashboard in Revit and what is template and what is the usage of template in our project. When you start Autodesk Revit software, you can see a dashboard like this. The dashboard is two separate. The first section, the left sidebar, is like this, and the right section is your recent project. Okay, here you can see your project, here your recent project which you created, and the left side you can open new your project and family. First of all, we should explain workspaces in Revit. In Revit we have three workspace. The first one is project, the second one is family, and the third one is conceptual mass workspace. In each workspace, you can model your elements. So let's see what is project workspace and family workspace and conceptual mass workspace and what is their usage. The first one, project workspace or model workspace. In project or model workspace, you can model your elements. For example, walls, floors, ceiling, structural framing, structural column, and etc. The second workspace, named family workspace, is a workspace to model your families. What is the families? For example, you need a structural framing for model your beams in project. Okay, first you should model your structural framing family in family workspace. For example, when you are building a structure in real site, you should buy your structural framing from factory. Okay, so you don't create your structural framing or window or door or desk or chairs. You don't make them in real site. Okay, you just buy it from factory and company. Okay, factory is family workspace. When you need to, for example, a door or window, you should create it in factory, and factory is family workspace. So in family workspace, you just create one family or one object. Okay, so first I go to family workspace, create a family of, for example, door, just a door, and load it to project. Okay, so I bring the family or I bring the door from factory to in my site. So here a real site of project is model workspace or project workspace, and the factory is family workspace. And we have another workspace like family workspace with name of conceptual mass or massing workspace. Massing workspace used only in architectural discipline of Autodesk Revit. As I mentioned before, we have three discipline in Revit: architectural for modeling architecture system, structural Revit structure for it use for modeling structural of a project, an MEP system or MEP, Revit MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, for model the MEP system of a project. So we have the third workspace is conceptual mass. It used only in architecture. Usually it used for architecture system, which allow you to model a concept of your all building, and just for example model a tower, and for example rotary tower, and you can only load your concept into project and assign wall and floor to your concept. Okay, so these are our workspaces. So let's start. We start from project, and in future we will learn how can we create a family, how can we create a concept, mass, and we will learn all of those, no worries. So now let's start from the project. Okay, here your recent project, it uh, usually is empty for you when you start Revit from the first. At the left side, you can see open a new project workspace or model workspace. This is different based on your Revit version. For example, if you open Revit 2028, you can see project here. This is the same project or model. Okay, and families open an existing family or new family. So let's start from project. If you click on new, you can see a pop-up window like this. You should choose your template here. Okay, we have different template for starting your project. As I mentioned before, you may need to start architectural or structural or mechanical or electrical or plumbing project. This is different. The template here, templates are here to help us to model our project easily. Okay, the question is, if you don't use any template, in this case, if we can model a project or not. Yes, we can, but we should load all of the families and settings of windows and all of those. We should set all of the settings and load all of the families. Okay, this like is you have an empty land, okay, without any window or door or structural framing and the other. Okay, you should just bring one by one your objects and families into your project. But when you need to start a structural, for example, we are an engineer to we are civil engineers, and we are going to model the structural system of the project. So we can uh, get we can have a land with a lot of beam and column and bolts and the other, so we don't need to bring all of those one by one. Okay, so these are templates. Okay, so the question is, if this is empty for you, what you can um, you can just bring these in your project, in your software. Okay, so first of all, you should install the content of Autodesk. Okay, Autodesk has a default content for different countries, and you should just first download and install it from Autodesk website, and then after that you can set those here. And how we can set those here? If these are empty, just click cancel here and click this button to sweep your window to home, After that, click on File. Here you can click on Option. After that, here you have File Locations. If you can see, these are our templates. We can rename those here and we can see its location. And if you need to, for example, remove, for example, electrical, you can remove this. If you need to add some more, you can click Add Value. And here you should just choose the path you install the library. For example, let me choose. The default path is on your Windows drive and program data. This is a hidden folder. You can just show your hidden folder. You can see it. Autodesk and Revit, for example, 2026, based on your Revit version. And here you can see the library of your Revit. The library is a set of pre-built families and project templates and a lot of things that you can use in your project. And here you should choose library folder, and based on your language, for example, English or English Imperial. English is metric system and Imperial is Imperial system. For example, English, and based on your installed content, you can see, for example, US, UK, or other countries based on the library you install, US. And from here you can see a lot of category, that is a lot of family you have. Okay, so we don't need to load a family in our project. We need just project template. Okay, so for project template, after you go to RVT, for example 2026, here we have templates. Okay, not family templates, templates. If you open it, and English for English metric, these are your pre-built template, project template. For example, default metric here is for architecture, structural analysis default metric for structural, plumbing default metric for plumbing, mechanical default metric for mechanical, and system for all the MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing. And that's it. And electrical we have just for electrical. For example, I choose it and rename it to electrical. And with these arrows you can move your template in your list and click on OK. After that, you can click this button to go to dashboard, and after that, if you click on new, you can see your template here. Okay, so these are just pre-built templates. The Autodesk created those templates for us to make it easy to work with Revit. In future, you should create your own template, because your company has their style, has their colors, has their families, and the other things. Okay, so in future you should create your template, but for now we can use the default ones for start learning. Okay, so here project and project template. If you need to create project template to use it in future in your project, you can click on project template, but for now we are going to start a new project. So you should just click on project and click on OK. After that, a new project will open with the settings that you choose in your template. Okay, here for example, I think I choose architectural and click on OK. All the settings will be the same that you have in architecture template. Okay, for example, if you click on window, you can see some preloaded family here, or for example, if you click on for example floor, these are pre-built system family you have. Let's close it and start another one with, for example, structural. Then click on window, and now you don't see any family of window. Why? Because you start the project from a structural template, and in a structural discipline of a project we don't have any window or door. Okay, windows and doors are architecture elements and should model in architectural discipline of Revit. Okay, now we have the project here, and actually like this. And now we can start the project. Okay, let's keep the sessions short and go for the setting of window and introduce each section of your window in the next session. Okay, so we will come back and explain what is the ribbon and what is project browser, what is properties, what is a status bar, and the other part of our Revit software. I hope you enjoy this session, and see you in next session. Goodbye.